Our son was diagnosed with autism, went to a couple of meetings, and they were really sad gatherings of families, and I didn't want to give up. My name's Lisa Ackerman. I'm the executive director and co-founder of TACA. I started 13 years ago. We were asking a lot of questions and getting a lot of closed doors, so we decided to gather like-minded families that would like to look towards treatment and recovery and or best outcomes for children affected by autism. So it started right then.
Well, autism is a disorder that affects social skills and communication.
What autism is could be a full-day seminar. Typically, it affects people in 5 areas. Communication, the ability to communicate or communicate effectively. Some kids have no ability to communicate, or they can script a whole movie but not tell you how their day was. The second thing that you'll see with some people with autism is behaviors, that they may have a set of behaviors that impede what they can do during the day. Learning is a big issue. Not being able to learn in a traditional school setting or needing learning supports that are outside the norm is one way. Then you have medical issues that could crop up that are sometimes untreated with autism. The last item is social. The hallmark of the disability is social and social interactions are all the unwritten rules that we operate by inherently or learning. Our kids with autism or individuals with autism struggle with that, and we need to help them with those issues. We have about 20 collaboration agreements that we work with from different folks like United Cerebral Palsy, Autism Speaks, and other national organizations that help us do more with less. Collaboration is the key for nonprofits, not just TACA, but all nonprofits, and we find working with people in our community here locally in Orange County, but also nationally to address the needs of families living with autism is key.
So the AYA program is Autism Youth Ambassadors. So we have different chapters at different high schools. So I think we're around 30 high schools, mostly in the California area, but we have some in Virginia, in Indiana, and their goal is to promote autism awareness. So they have a lot of events and fundraisers, and they do buddy systems at their school where they'll sit at lunch with other students who have autism.
So AYA is basically like a subsection of TACA. It's like the kids, the teenagers are AYA, and then it's part of the main TACA organization. So basically we just do community service events such as Friday Night Club, where
It's important for everybody to have friends, and sometimes it's hard for teenagers with special needs to make friends. Sometimes they have limited social skills, and I think that the club provides an avenue for these kids to make friends. I have 3 older siblings. My older brother Andrew has autism, and 2 siblings who are older than Andrew. And the 2 older siblings went off to college, and Andrew was really sad, and he didn't really know what to do about it. And I started thinking about what would happen when I go off to college and he's left alone at home, and I didn't want him to be lonely or sad. So I invited a few of my own friends over and a few friends with autism from Andrew's Rec Center. And it was only like about 10 people at the first meeting, and we just played games and had fun, talked a little bit, and it was a big hit, and everybody wanted to do it again. And then we got involved with United Cerebral Palsy in Orange County, and they've really helped us. And we've gotten a lot more people since then. I mean, we've had as many as 100 people at a party before, so it's gotten big, and I think it's been really great for everybody who attends.
I feel like I've always had fun when I'm here. It's not just like it's not just doing community service, it's hanging out, having fun, playing games. I think more about what I do and say, because it's a lot different growing up with a brother with a disability, and I came kind of to make sure he had a good first experience, I guess, make sure he was all right, and then I ended up just staying volunteering.
Typically we usually play games with them, and I don't know, it really seems like it's really helping them, and it's always good to see a smile on their face.
Just happy, like, see together, like, enjoying us together. It's so awesome.
You have fun, you play games and watch movies, and sometimes you play games in the movie.
For those kids and teens with special needs, Asperger's, autism, dyslexia, this is the place.
Could probably spend a whole day talking about common mistruths and misconceptions with children and adults with autism, for that matter. Often the number one frustrating thing is when someone is not able to speak or communicate, they treat people, they're being treated like they're not even there. And that is extraordinarily frustrating to me, to know that you have an intelligent being sitting in front of you, and just because they can't talk doesn't mean they don't have something to say. And that by far is the most frustrating thing. You can't treat people with autism as inanimate objects. They are part of our community. So that's number one. Number two is Rain Man. Love Dustin Hoffman. Hate his movie for the most common misconception of every person must judge whatever, Wagner, and perseverate on certain things and can count cards. I think one of the things that leads to is a misconception as to what trick can your child with autism do. And I often have to remind people, no, you can't bring him to Vegas. He's not going to help you win in blackjack. No, he doesn't accelerate any differently in categories than his neurotypical peers. Our kids are unique and different, just like any other kid, without a label. And the number one thing I'd like to tell families that are just diagnosed with autism is there's so much hope and so much you can do. And if anyone's shared with you that there's no hope and nothing you can do, you need to turn around and walk away from them. What is so thrilling to me is since 2005, there's been more research on autism treatments than all other previous years combined. We also know those treatments work, and even the National Institutes of Health agrees. In January 2013, they actually did a study on recovered kids, and they proved that autism is something you can recover from. So we're thrilled to know those two important factors, and that families should drive treatments to help their children.
1 in 88 children are affected by autism, so you should never feel alone in this journey.
All right.
I think the number one thing that families can do once they suspect or obtain an autism diagnosis or have been on the journey longer than a decade is to get connected with TACA. TACA has 12 free programs that can assist families down the journey and the path of autism. And they can reach us through our 800 number on the TACA website, TACANOW, TACANOW.org, or in one of our meetings in 20 states across the United States.
I have autism. I feel great. I am not alone in the world.